I started this channel last month and it so far made me 60 grand in ad revenue. And even now it continues to make almost $2,000 a day just from ad revenue alone. And by the way, I do want to show that these are US dollars. It's not any other currency like Zimbabwe or whatever. Now the best part is that it takes me 20 minutes to make one video completely with AI. And I'm not just going to show you someone else's channel and then tell you to copy them. Everything I'm showing you here is based on what has worked for me, so you're following a proven framework. And in this step-by-step tutorial, I will show you the new, faster, and more efficient way to create faceless videos with AI without having to use any complicated and expensive tools like Claude Code or Higgsville. And I also want to say that I'm not the only one getting these results. Because of this new AI algorithm, plenty of channels are making $30,000 to $60,000 a month, even though they started very recently. So let me show you some real-life examples first, and then I'll show you how to copy all of us with AI. Here's an example channel called Professor Historian. They make $15,000 a month, and if you go to their oldest videos, they literally started 1 month ago and they only have 9 videos on their channel. Here's another one called Forgotten American Survival. They make 17 grand a month and they also started 1 month ago. But this one is crazy. This one is called Accent and they make $15,000 a month, even though they've uploaded only 7 videos, and they started 1 month ago and their first video got 600,000 views. Here's another YouTube channel which started 2 months ago and right now they're making $29,000 a month. Here's another similar YouTube channel making $22,000 a month, and I actually have a list of over 1,000 channels making between $5,000 and $50,000 a month. Now you see the format that works very well now are these somewhat low quality animation slides. Like nothing is really moving in these. These are basically just images, but they look like they were hand drawn in a software like Paint. So it looks like a human made them. But you can now create a video like this within minutes just by using AI. In fact, I tried to copy this channel Accent because some of their first uploads got millions of views. I hired absolutely no one. I used AI and it worked. So what I've done is I've created a free Notion document with all of the prompts that you can copy and paste if you'd like to follow along this tutorial. You can find these prompts inside of my free community. When you go to the classroom, just go to AI systems right here and just click on how to start a faceless animation channel with AI, and then you can access the document completely free of charge. Now the same step-by-step process that I'm about to share with you works in pretty much any niche and any kind of faceless channel you want to start. In fact, I never recommend just finding a channel and copying exactly what they're doing word for word, because that's not gonna work. You just need to take out the frameworks that work for them and just apply it to a similar niche. So for step number 1, you want to head over to Claude.com and then take a screenshot of the channel that you're trying to model and copy paste this prompt from the document. Now Claude is going to look into this channel. It's going to analyze the niche, the thumbnail style, the title structures, and based on that, it's going to give us new video ideas that they haven't covered but that are in a similar or same niche. That really depends on you, whether you want to be in the same or you would like to make some changes. And you can just tell that to Claude. You can literally ask it to apply these title frameworks just to a different niche. For example, the other day I saw this channel that blew up within the first 30 days of starting. I mean, their first video got 1 million views and they spoke about birds. So I just applied the same title frameworks, but for insects. Either way, there are some really good titles here, but I'm gonna go with how did ancient humans know who their father was? Step number 2, now we just need to pick one of those ideas as I just did, and we're gonna ask it to find unique information around this subject using this prompt. So you're just gonna copy this prompt, and this is probably the most important part because YouTube is now using Google Gemini. It's using AI to instantly analyze your videos, and if you just go to some AI tool and you ask it to write a script for you, it's going to instantly know that it is generic and you're less likely to be promoted. If you're sharing the same stuff as everyone else, there is no reason for the YouTube algorithm to show your videos to a wider audience. Why would they? So now when I ask Claude for 10 unique points I can use in my videos, it gives me this. Step number 3. Now we need to write a script, but the reason 99.9% of people fail at YouTube is because they use AI the wrong way to write scripts. I mean, if you don't know already, YouTube is now using Google Gemini and it's baked into the algorithm. I mean, you can ask Gemini itself. It's going to tell you that behind the scenes, they have algorithmic shifts. So the algorithm has completely changed because Gemini is now being used to analyze video semantic ID. That That means if you share generic stuff that was completely generated with AI, it's most likely not going to be pushed to a wider audience. So now you have three options. You can either go to ChatGPT or Claude and you can ask it to write a YouTube script for you. However, these tools were not built for YouTube. They were actually built for mass audiences and mass markets. Therefore, you're most likely going to be getting generic stuff that Google or Gemini will immediately know it was made with AI, and you will probably not get the best results. I mean, even if you read through these scripts, you wouldn't listen to this for more than 30 seconds. Option number two, just be a big boy and write the script yourself. Do the research, sit down and write the script. You can use AI to ask it for frameworks like how should you structure a script, but perhaps you can just sit down and write it in your own words. And that would be great, but that takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. But if you are good at writing, this is pretty cool and it's free. Now, what I personally do is I use this feature inside of Solo.ai, which was specifically built for writing YouTube scripts. I mean, Solo.ai is all-in-one operating system for one-person businesses, but when you go inside, you can find a content sector right here, and then you can find the YouTube script writer. And this tool was trained on thousands of different YouTube videos, and the best part is that it asks you multiple questions which make the script way less generic. Let me show you what I mean. So first, I'm gonna describe what my video is going to be about. So I'm just gonna insert a topic here. Then I'm just gonna paste the title in this box, and right where it asks me about details, I can just go back here and collect these 10 points that I asked Claude, these unique and obscure facts that most people haven't heard about before. So Claude did the research for me, and I'm gonna add that as a text note. And now this is where it actually works the best. It's gonna ask you what style would you like to model, and what you can do is you can go to a channel that you're trying to model or any other channel on the platform. It could also be a personal brand channel. You can then copy a link address to their most popular videos, which is what I recommend because there has to be something that they did correctly that the video got millions of views. So now I'm gonna paste the link here and it's gonna model their style of writing. Now I can select the monetization goal. So if you're promoting something, you can select that. But in my case, I just wanna maximize ad revenue. And now I can also bump up the length of this video to be, let's say 10 minutes and just generate script. It takes about 90 seconds for it to write the entire script for me with all of these unique facts baked in and in the style of writing of that channel, which is already successful. And now I can expand the script to, I can add another 1,000 words or 2,000 words or whatever else I would like to change. I can go ahead and do that, or I can just copy the script and go with that. Step number 4, now we need to create these animated images that we're gonna use as slides in our YouTube videos. There's multiple ways to do this. The legacy old way of doing this was just going to an AI tool like Claude or ChatGPT, pasting your script and then saying, hey, I will paste my YouTube script, and then you write 30 prompts that I can use to generate these scenes one by one. And then in that case, you would have to go and generate each image one by one, which when the last time I did this took about 7 hours of constant copy pasting without moving from my chair to finish an entire video. Or you can do something that's much faster and more efficient, and that is to just go to the scene generator inside of Solo, where you can paste your YouTube script in this box. Then on the right hand side, select the model you would like to go with. I'm just gonna go with standard. You can then select how many scenes you would like to have generated. Let's say I'm just gonna go with 50, and you can select which style of animation you would like. Now personally, I really like the cinematic 2D animation, but if you'd like to copy exactly what these other people are doing, like if you want this style of animation, that you would select the second option. But I like how this guy animates his images. It looks like as if you were watching a cartoon as a kid. So personally, I would just go with cinematic 2D animation. And then you just click generate bulk scenes, and that's it. Now you just sit, relax, and it makes them in a couple of minutes. You don't need to install any plugins or copy paste codes and do all of this complex stuff on your computer. You literally just log into your account, paste the script, and it makes all of the scenes. And by the way, this is how it would look like if we selected the other style, like the sketch style. This is really cool. And what I like the most is I can press one button, download all of these images all at once. And you know, the problem that you would otherwise have with Gemini and other tools is that you would have a watermark, but also when you download these images, you see how they have this random tag like Gemini generate and then some code image for ANF. It's very random, and then you would have to figure out which scenes go where. But when you download it from Solo, it just shows you exactly scene 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's all in order. here. And then all you gotta do is open up your favorite video editing software, import all these images, and just drag them to the timeline. And just like that, everything is in the right order. Step number 5. Now we need someone to read the script. We need a voiceover. Now there is multiple ways to do this. The safest option is to just record your own voice, and it is completely free. You can just go to Google, you can search for online voice recorder, and even if you have a decent laptop, you don't really need a fancy microphone like this. You can just press record, allow while visiting the site, and you just have to read the script into the microphone. Now, if your English is not good, or if you just don't want to spend your time recording these voiceovers, you can go to Fiverr or Upwork and you can find these voiceover artists, though they are very expensive. Like in most cases, if we have a script that's 1.5 thousand words long, that's gonna cost around $1,000 from this guy. There's obviously some cheaper ones, but it's very expensive. So what I personally do is a bit controversial now, but I really just use AI for this as well. So I just copy the script, I go to the voice section on the left side, and all my channels are still monetized, so you are allowed to use AI voices, at least as of right now. You can go to the voiceover studio, and on the right hand side, you have a library of 9,500 different voices to pick and choose from. Just choose the one you like the most, paste your script in this box, and you have a voiceover done in less than a minute. And it obviously costs a fraction of what these voiceover artists are charging, and it sounds realistic. Now, when you open up all of these scenes inside of CapCut or any other video editing tool, you just have to import your voiceover and drag it to the timeline like this, and then just listen to the voiceover in the background and try to match the length of these scenes. So just like this, and then perhaps I need to drag this a little bit. You just have to listen to it. And look, you can also add some slow movement to these images. You can click on animation right over here. There's combo animation. Some of these are pretty crazy. You can also do it manually. You can just click here to add a keyframe at the beginning and then drag this and then add another keyframe and just bump this up to, let's say, 115, and you'll see how it slowly zooms in. And then you can do that for each of these images, or you can add different effects from here. Now for the next step, we need to make a YouTube thumbnail, this small image that you see before clicking on a YouTube video. Now for this, you can also just go to canva.com. You can search for a YouTube thumbnail. There's a bunch of templates. When I used to do it in Canva, I would just start with a blank template like this. Then we can just take one of these scenes and then we can just add some text. I'm going to change the font to something like this, and that's a decent thumbnail. But if you're inside of Solo, you can go to the AI Visual Studio and you will see the YouTube thumbnail maker right over here, which is a lot higher quality. You can either enter a prompt or you can recreate thumbnails from YouTube. For example, I can grab this YouTube thumbnail, paste the link here, and just say, change the text to say, who's the dad? And then you'll just click edit thumbnail. Now, if you just enter a prompt and create a thumbnail from scratch, it's gonna look something like this. I really like this one. Oh, my bad about this one. So it did change the text, but I forgot that I selected the thumbnail persona. So right here, you can actually add yourself to these thumbnails and you can turn it off at any time. I just forgot to turn it off in this case. But when you have it on, it's gonna try and put your face on all of these thumbnails. This is pretty funny. I'm gonna download this. Now, please keep in mind that not every channel I start gets these results within 30 to 60 days of starting. I have many channels that have completely flopped. Channels where I was really confident about the idea and about the niche that just didn't go anywhere and I had to abandon them. And even when we look at all of these channels that explode within their first uploads, we have no idea if this is their first rodeo or not. Maybe this guy had 5 other channels that flopped before this one. So don't get discouraged if you've been posting videos and you're just not getting views the same way that everyone you're seeing online is, because trust me, you're most likely just seeing the top 1%. Though I just want to say there are some exceptions to this rule. Alex, who joined my community less than 30 days ago, made $2,600 even though he's never done YouTube before. This is just 8 days after getting monetized. I had to give this man $1,000 on top of this, but either way, most people that start a business fail. This, like any other business, is risky. However, this is the best time to start a YouTube channel ever, and it's never gonna be easier than it is right now. So if you're gonna risk it, you might as well risk it now. But if you'd like to see how this new AI YouTube algorithm works, how you can beat it, and how you can use it to grow your channel, make sure to watch this video next. I explain everything and I give you the actionable step-by-step stuff as well.